Oh, shoot, I just turned the host. Alrighty, and we are live here with the Truth Be Told. Let me get this going right. I'm sorry. Okay, yes, okay. So the Truth Be Told live here on KUAW. Hold on 1 second, because I do not like that. There you go. Oh, maybe that ain't it. Where's it at? Where's the inside one? Dang, we need to do some more engineering. Some better engineering that is good. I hear echo. Can you hear echo?
No, I'm like too late.
Yeah.
So I think we're hearing an echo because of my phone charging.
Can't. No, we're hearing it because we're hearing the speaker. We gotta turn it down. And it's somewhere around there. I just don't know which one it is. It ain't the mic though. No, it ain't you, Mr. Walker. I know it's here in the studio. Try that black knob. The middle one. Middle. Oh no, not the mic. So, oh yeah. Is one of them a volume? What is it? One of them is the volume to this speaker stuff in here.
Try to talk now.
Okay, it ain't the phone. I know. Okay, I'm about to go. I'm sorry. I just. Okay, I ain't gonna be able to figure it out. I'm just gonna have to deal with the echo for a second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so yes, it is the Truth Be Told with myself, Tbeyb, and Carmen Lieber. She come back over here. We trying to figure some stuff out in the studio, but oh, you know what? I wonder if it's this.
And is.
No, because it don't seem like it was changing. Oh yeah,
it does. That was it. Okay.
Okay. Yes. No. I said here. Carmen Lieber here, and this is KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's global community radio station. If you have an event or a business that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, make sure to send us an email at kuaw985@gmail.com. And as well as Texas One-on-One Jams on Instagram. You can send us a DM if you have some music that you like play here on Texas One-on-One Jams. We are down with that as well. If you're listening to us via Periscope or Twitch or any of those platforms where you can listen to podcasts and things like that, we are available KUAW as well as Texas One-on-One Jams. Make sure to like and subscribe to those pages so that your family and friends can have access to the content that's here on KUAW Radio and Texas One-on-One Jams. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I don't think I did. I think that's all. Oh yeah, just make sure to follow us on like YouTube, what I'm trying to say, Twitter, Instagram. It's hey, I don't know who that is, but hi. So Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, KUAW, as well as our Facebook page, KUAW Radio. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page, share with your family and friends so they can hop on to the to this live podcast as well. Okay, so we know we got to talk about this number 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs, okay? Coming out of the bye week. It was a little shaky, a little rough. Then these last couple of games been a little rough, but our boys pulled it off. So I'm excited about that. Shout out to Kansas City. I want y'all to keep doing what y'all doing up there. Not as far as the city, but you know the team.
I won't talk about this Sunday, okay?
But yeah, because we know the Cowboys, they didn't got Messed up by Green Bay.
I want to talk about it.
How did we lose? At least it was an overtime game.
Right, it was. So,
you know, so they didn't go out without a fight. You know, they fought hard for that loss. But yeah, so that was that. Of course, y'all know the elections happened last week. We seen a result of those. Definitely feeling the result of those here in Texas. They blocked the student loan thing the next day.
They said, you know what? No, you guys are staying in debt.
Yeah, so if you in Texas, ain't no $25,000 coming off your student loan, 10,000, 20,000, however much it's supposed to be, you ain't getting it.
You're not getting none of that.
You're gonna have to pay that. They said you're gonna have to come get it back in blood. You're gonna have to pay that. They not playing that here in Texas.
They want it on time.
We're not gonna have no legalized weed no time soon with them, so we ain't gotta worry about. You know, they were supposed to be decriminalizing weed, marijuana. Let's say marijuana federally. So they were gonna pardon like 2.2 million people that are like currently in jail, being held with like non-violent crimes that are associated with marijuana. They was gonna be able to get pardoned and they was gonna get out. But Abbott said he ain't going for that in Texas as well. He said he ain't doing that.
We sick of Wills.
Hey, how Wills need to get his butt on up out of here for real.
He drive himself about here.
He do. Like, it don't make no sense.
Stairs.
It don't make no sense, y'all. And I just be wondering, like, you know, we sit up here, we talk about like these votings and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that or whatever. But it's like we sit here and complain about it, but then when it's time to get out and actually do it or do something about it, it's like we don't put an importance on it. We don't teach it to our children. We don't make it seem like it's a big deal to make sure that you have a knowledge of who's on the ballot, you know, because that's a good thing. Because when we talk about these judges and police chiefs and all things kind of like that, like all those things are on a ballot. And when we go out there and exercise our right to vote, then, you know, we are able to basically, I guess, put our oar in the water, at least get our thoughts heard, you would hope.
Right.
But Texas, like I said, Texas
backwards.
They say, I mean, hey, see, this is the thing about it. Missouri, but hold on, wait, before we get into Texas and them being backwards and stuff like that. Here's the thing about it. Shout out to Missouri legalizing recreational marijuana.
Hey, I might need some move.
Not to Missouri, not just saying. I love Missouri. Hey, Missouri. But yeah, shout out to them out there actually doing that. We were already a medical state, so now the recreational weed is in there taking effect in February. I believe it's like February 1st. So shout out to them boys for getting that done out there. I'm into the legalization of marijuana. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like. I feel like Dare lied to us when we was in the 5th grade, trying to tell us it was a gateway drug. Yeah.
It's gonna make you do crack.
Right. They used to make you think smoking marijuana is gonna make you do everything. Like, as soon as you smoke some marijuana, you're gonna be like, oh, I wonder what putting cocaine up my nose will do. Like,
I wonder what meth will do.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think that it didn't play out like that, you know. No. And then also you got to take into consideration. I like to take all kind of things into consideration when I be looking up at these things that they say are legal or illegal or whatever, you know what I'm saying? As why, like, when did they make it illegal and why did they make it illegal, you know?
And remember in the beginning of Pineapple Express, they explained, no, I'm just kidding.
No. Well, marijuana, not legalization of it, but what made it illegal, the illegalization of it.
There you go.
I don't even know if that's the word.
That's just making that stuff.
I should let Nelson Neal come up here today.
Oh, you should.
He's here. Oh, dang. I should text
him. Opportunity.
And I should text him and see. Oh, dang.
Well, I know Texas, right now, it's not legal, but medical wise, if it has a low dosage of THC in it,
it's decriminalized.
It's decriminalized.
Yeah.
But you do still have to have a medical card.
Yeah.
If you're so.
But you can get caught with a certain amount. You just get a ticket.
You just get
if you ain't got no.
I thought you were gonna go to jail.
No, you just get a ticket if you ain't got no like priors or no. If you ain't got nothing else holding you or no other reason to go to jail, you get pulled over with a certain amount of marijuana. I think it's like 4 ounces or something.
What if you have a ticket that turned into a warrant?
As long as it ain't for marijuana, it probably
Oh,
ain't.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Who knows? I don't get pulled over. I don't believe in the police, so the police don't mess with me. I'm like,
I hide in plain sight.
I'm like Kevin Gates to the police, make me invisible. Like, to all my haters, make me invincible. You know what I'm saying? Like I take on that mindset about it. I don't think about the police. They don't think about me. We don't have no problems. But no, but so it was hemp when I was trying to get to the thing that they were really wanting to make illegal. It wasn't like hemp is the parent plant of marijuana. And so that's how marijuana got dragged into it, but it was really hemp that they wanted to stop the production of because it was slowing down the production of cotton and stuff like that in the South when they had the slaves, because hemp is one of those plants that can be turned into anything. Like a lot of people don't know hemp can make paper. The first constitution was written on hemp paper. Hemp can make concrete. It can build houses. You can make clothes out of it. You can make bags and things out of it. Like you can do a lot of different things with hemp. And so the United States, they were losing money from their production of the cotton fields and everything like that because people wasn't using that. They were using hemp. And so they made hemp illegal. So everybody had to start purchasing that cotton. And they started making all that money. Then Abraham Lincoln came in and said, you know what? I think the South is making too much money. We need to go ahead and set the Negroes free. No,
let them go.
We need to go ahead and let them go because they're making too much money in the South. That's what the Emancipation Proclamation was about. It wasn't about that. He wasn't trying to help or trying to be all sweet or something. Nothing. No, he was trying to get that money from the South to the North. He said, spread the wealth. And if y'all want to spread the wealth, we're going to make it hard for you to even be making a thing down there. But yeah, so I don't know. I think they was just being greedy. And to this point now, the times that we live in, I mean, I really don't care whether it's legal or not. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day,
we've been doing it.
And the thing about it is I really don't agree when the government starts putting their hand in stuff. Like, okay, for instance, when marijuana first started becoming legal, and like some of the first states that it was legal in, you had California, I think followed by State. Washington, then you followed by I know Nevada's one of them, Las Vegas and things like that. And so then you have people going out there to, get weed or whatever. But the thing about it is they kept trying to make it stronger and stronger and stronger, and they would start spraying it with chemicals, and those chemicals was causing people to be sick. So I used to tell people all the time, like, the thing about it is ain't nobody ever overdosed from marijuana.
Nope.
Ever. Soon as the government start putting their hands in, and now you got a whole disease called cannabinoiditis, hyperemesis, or whatever. And the only reason I know the name of that is because I quote unquote had it. And it almost killed me. No, your stomach don't hurt. Your stomach is paralyzed, so nothing moves. Like you could drink some water and it's gonna come back up, and then you get into like what they call it a rotative vomiting syndrome or something. So it's like once you start throwing up, then you can't stop throwing up. Like I lost so much sodium and so much potassium. No, pregnancy is like you eat something make you queasy. This is you start throwing up, you can't stop. Like my sister Tiffany, she on my live right now. She can tell you, like, I was sick. I had got down to 98 pounds. Like I couldn't eat nothing. I couldn't drink nothing. Like it was terrible. It was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the scariest moments of my life. But I made it through by the grace of God. Oh yeah, it's my birthday yesterday. So
yeah, happy birthday.
Shout out to the Scorpios, closing out Scorpio season. It just come and go, don't it? Seems so fast. Just come and go. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be 40.
Yikes.
I know. Say it
like that. You got a long time. You got a long time before that happens.
I don't have a long time. Shoot, I'm closer to 40 than 30 now. If we was going by rounding rules.
Rounding didn't make sense to me because I feel like with 5 you should be able to.
It's 6:30 already?
Yeah, we were late.
Oh, dang, how late was we?
I thought we were only like 10, 15 minutes.
I did too.
But I guess we were longer than that.
Maybe I don't have to take no break today then. Because I didn't even kind of get into what I wanted to talk to
well, let's get into
the first half of this show. So just real quick, I wanted to talk about, I was thinking about do I gotta take a break? Just shake it now. Okay. Okay. So I was just thinking about like optimism and pessimist and a realist. And really the when I what made me think about this is because I started thinking about like there's really not much difference between a pessimist and a so-called realist. Now we got with the optimists, yeah, they all the way on the other side of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? It's clear to kind of know what optimist. Am I saying that right?
Optimist, yeah.
Optimist and a Can I what can I lower this? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me see this. So I'm gonna look up a couple of definitions here because I should have dictionary.com. Yep. And so let's see.
You want to go by the dictionary's definition?
We're gonna see what they say. Pessimist. If I could spell, that ain't right, but it should give me close enough. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so like okay, so a pessimist is a person who habitually sees or anticipates the worst and is supposed to be gloomy. Okay. High school level word. So let's see what you know what? Is a realist even a thing? Is that a real
realist? I think so, but I mean it should be.
That got a real definition? Let's see. Yes, it does have one. Okay, let's see. A person who tends to view or represent things as they really are. In art are a writer who's okay of or relating to realism or to a person who embodies its principles or practices. So it says seeing things how they really are. So that's kind of what ties me up. Okay, so have you ever heard the saying that whether you're an optimist or whether you're a pessimist, either way you think is right?
No,
you
I've
haven't
never
heard
heard
that? Okay, so, Miss Walker, you know what I'm talking about? You heard that before? Okay, maybe I'm not saying it right. So it's saying like whether you think, okay, so because whatever, okay, so y'all know the truth be told, I always talk about how thoughts are things. So if you believe that, okay, yeah, so it's like if you know that your thoughts are things and that so it says that your thoughts I had that thing somewhere. I always be trying to remember these sayings in my head and I can't get it. Now your thoughts become your words become your actions, and your actions become your reality. But it always starts back with the thought. Because before you say something, you think about it. Well, some people, most times, I used to get in trouble when I was younger because my daddy said you need to think before you speak. Because you just be speaking and you weren't thinking before you speak. But in a sense though, it's like your thoughts become your words become your actions, and then your actions become your reality. At the same time, it's still saying your thoughts become your reality, period. So whether I think however way I think, that is what becomes my reality. So let me see if that's if I could look it up. So let's see, because I know it in my head a little bit, but I be liking to give y'all these little cliche lines because y'all know I'm good to tear up a cliche. Okay. Because that's just the same thing. So society will make you a pessimist because they have this saying, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yeah. I think that's where I think that's more of a realist saying.
To prepare for the worst?
Yeah.
But because the pessimist is one that anticipates the worst.
Yeah. So that's not a realist, then that's a pessimist.
But a realist would say, well, that's reality.
Well, I think a realist would be more like I think a realist, I think they wish or they hope for the best, like the beginning of the saying. But then I think in the back of, I don't know how to explain this, but I even have the diction for it right now. A realist knows that something can turn, like realistically, something can fall through. So prepare for that, for it to not work. If it doesn't work.
For the worst.
Yeah. So I mean, I see the difference between a realist and a pessimist, but I feel like they walk a thin line. Like they walk a very thin line.
It was like love and hate.
Exactly.
I'm trying to see if this is
But yeah, I think sometimes people can be overly optimistic though too, because sometimes some people, I mean, I guess you can't, because if you want that to happen, you want to believe that can happen, you can believe that can happen. But
so here's the quote. It's by Ralph.
Go ahead.
It's by Ralph Waldo. It says, the optimist is right, the pessimist is right. The one differs from the other as the light from the dark, yet both are right. That's the quote.
So maybe mix those two together and you have a realist. Maybe a realist is a baby of an optimist and a pessimist.
Yes, and I guess I can understand that, because when I think about I definitely consider myself more of an optimist than a realist, just because I'm not thinking about the worst. I'm not gonna say don't go out by yourself because you can get raped, which that's the reality of it, but I'm still not gonna call that into existence. Like, I'm not gonna speak that, because if I think that, or if I speak that, then I'm speaking it into existence. Just like when Christians say all the time, speaking into existence, like all these things, we have all these things that kind of tell us that your thoughts and your words become your reality. Yet we also have these sayings that make you kind of create the worst in your own life, because you think about all the danger and stuff that's gonna happen. That's why I told my grandma to quit watching the news. She always seen somebody gonna break into her car. Like, if you keep thinking that, eventually that's what's gonna happen, because that's the law of attraction. That is universal law, the law of attraction. What you think, you are gonna attract to you. You are gonna attract that energy. There's no way to get around that, whether you believe in it or not. Just like when we talk about gravity, whether you believe in it or not, that's just the way it works. Like, it's the law of the land.
So do you think that everything bad that's happened to a person, like say a girl, she's an optimist and she's out, she's with her friends, all of a sudden she gets snatched up and human trafficked, do you think she thought about that, or do you think that it's just a circumstance that just happened?
Okay, so sometimes there's circumstances that happen. There's also karma, generational karma, that comes back through lifetime. So you really never know. You never know why something is happening. And yeah, it doesn't seem fair. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that she spoke that or she thought it into existence, but you really never know, because somebody else could have thought into existence for her mama, her grandma, or something like that. Like, even you really never know what thoughts were actually put into the universe to say that, we didn't bring it on to ourselves. And then, as well as, you never know the thoughts that people don't speak, but the universe does. God knows the thoughts that you hold to yourself. Like, you can't hide a thought from the universe or from the higher power. You know what I'm saying? Whether, even if you say it in your head, people pray in their head, their prayers get heard. Don't say, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you really can't hide a thought, even if you don't speak it out loud or anything like that. And that's also, I'm not going to say that it's extreme, because that sex trafficking is a big problem nowadays. Also, the thing about it is too, is like intuition. Like, a lot of times you will have a thought. Yeah, like a lot of times you will have a thought and you're like, I shouldn't go there, or I don't really want to do that, or you know what I'm saying? And then you get talked into it or something like that or whatever. Now you didn't put yourself in a position where the universe tried to warn you, but you didn't listen. So now you didn't put yourself in a position to where circumstances can happen. Saying things can happen or whatever. But I mean, it's just like, I don't think that there's not gonna be a world where you don't have evilness.
Yeah, I mean, good and evil is in everything.
Yeah, like you're not gonna have it. I just
one
don't
can't
see
exist
that
without the other.
I think that, because I think it did before the story of Adam and Eve and Europeans came into existence. But yeah, I just think that it's a certain energy that's been bestowed upon the world that is really no way to get around it. Like, it was an introduction of war, it was an introduction of rape, it was an introduction of theft, like all these things, these evil things that have been made normal through society. And it's really just based on, and I'm saying normal through society in these days, but your mind really can't fathom to go back before.
Really loud next door.
Oh yeah, your mind can't really fathom to go back 153,000 years to when Adam and Eve.
No
were,
idea.
Yeah, you don't have no idea of what
right.
what was going on or anything like that, or you know what I'm saying, things like that or whatever. And I guess I was about to say, I guess you could even go with the story of like Cain and Abel and things like that, but that was after Adam and Eve too. So you really don't get pre stuff, but I've been thinking like even when we look into Egyptology, is that the word? What's the dang word? What's the Egyptian stuff?
Etiology?
No, that's kind of like etymology, but like the study of like the Egyptians and stuff. What is that? I can't think of the name of it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know some people go back and say, you know, we was in Egypt and they try to study all those things and the gods of war. Because that's what I was getting to. Like you had the gods of war, you had the they were kind of present before, but at the end of the day, I don't know if they consider
is that what it's called? Egyptology.
Oh, Egyptology.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like, you know, they had the gods of war and all these other kind of stuff or whatever. So we can't even say that there wasn't like fighting and stuff going on, but it was probably more just than what we have these days. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it was probably more just than when they went to war or some conflict or something arose and it had to be handled or things like that. It wasn't just flat out evil because I feel like this should be my land, so I'm gonna start killing everybody, or you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I think we'll have to come back. I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna do some more. Digging on that. Because both of these topics that we really gonna talk about tonight, we're gonna have to come back to, because I didn't realize that we was this late on air.
Right.
And unless y'all, you know, tune in to Texas 101 Gems, we're gonna do an after show.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so yeah, so do the actor show or whatever. We get into it a little bit more, especially this topic right here. Yeah, but I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of it because I got about 10 minutes.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So the second topic that I really wanted to talk about on here today, which y'all gonna get a little bit of it, but was more so of the alpha male versus the beta male, and how we are as women. I wish Tiffany was still on here. She ain't on here no more. But and okay, so let me just give you a little background of what makes me think about this, because I think about like the men that I've been attracted to in life. So I feel like all women have men that they are really, really attracted to. Okay. And then they have another kind of man over here that is really, really attracted to them.
Yes.
But they don't like.
I don't like you.
That one.
I want you.
You know what I'm saying? They want the one over here, right?
I don't want that fish. I want that fish.
So it had me start to thinking like, why are we like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the difference between these two men? See, like some people say, oh, women like bad boys, but it ain't always just a bad boy type deal. Like, I really don't want no bad boy. We too old for that. I just turned 35. I don't need nobody that can go to jail and be gone for 10, 15 years.
Like nobody that's still on the block.
Like that's not really
graduated from that by now.
Yeah, like you should be the big homie.
You didn't get a food truck to clean the money yet? No.
That's it. Like ain't no money laundry going around here now. But yeah, so it's like, you know, that I don't really think it's a good guy, nice guy type thing no more. And also I don't think it's like they say how it's the men that treat you bad
that you run to
or things like that. I don't think it's like that either, because me personally, you can't treat me bad. I'm an alpha female. See, and that's another thing too. I think it depends on what type of female you are, because maybe beta go with beta, alpha go with alpha. Do it work like that in the wolf thingy? Because ain't that where that come from anyway? No, I don't know where that come from. I'm gonna have to look that up, where that even come from. But you know what? I got the iPad right here in front of me. Yeah, but yeah, like I am about to look that up, because I do want to know like where that ideal comes from. But maybe because I do consider myself an alpha female, and I think a lot of our females, especially a lot of us melanated, I think a lot of our females are alpha females.
Yeah, because we never. I mean, we really don't have some of us really don't have a choice. It's kind of just we're brought up that way.
Yeah, like it's just. You know,
whether you come, honestly, I don't think it matters like what background you come from when you're melanated, like you said.
Mhm.
It's just something that's ingrained in us to be alpha. Like, yeah, I think by like, yeah. I'm trying to think
you can be a high beta too, or like a low beta or a high alpha or a middle alpha. So this is good. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more digging on this and things like this, because what I did just see, it says alpha men are typically described as the real men, in contrast to our beta males, the weak, submissive, subordinate guys who are kind of lower. But I kind of think that's what it is though, because remember how I was telling you, I don't want a man that I can control. You know what I'm saying? Like I think people should be submissive to their partners in a sense, both men and women. You know, I feel like they should be submissive to their partners in a sense. And that's just because you care about their feelings. Like you don't want to, you know what I'm saying, just do something to intentionally hurt someone you love's feelings. Like that's just, you know, I don't know. Like I just, in my mind, it's just inconsiderate.
It's weird if you go out of your way to hurt your partner's feelings. It's like, yeah, how can I hurt them today?
Yeah,
that's strange.
Then this must say 14 differences between alpha male and beta male. So, oh, this should give us some real good. Oh, dang, 10 minutes to talk about this one by one, because I just seen the first one said alpha men are confident while beta men have low self-esteem. So it's like the ones that's gonna be going through your phone, who you talking to, who is that type stuff or whatever. So yeah, so it says alpha males are confident while beta males have less self-esteem. Alpha male has a solid foundation of confidence. He does not shy around from other people, does not get intimidated by others. He thinks of himself highly, knowing that he is capable of many things. But then you know what was crazy is because I hear that and I think
a lot of men think that they're that though, and
yeah,
they're not that,
but they're not that. Yeah,
but they're not that.
And but my thing of it is, it's like you will look at that type of man and be like, oh, he arrogant.
And sometimes we do, because sometimes they are.
And then it says, on the other hand, a beta male is the opposite of alpha males in terms of self-worth. He lacks confidence, so you can't rely on him to be the spokesperson of a group. He's also easily intimidated by more successful people, so he thinks he's not worthy of socializing with them. Yeah, I can see how that would be a problem.
That's a big what?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Why are you hating on your homeboy?
Yeah.
You did?
Yes. Then it say alpha males are highly opinionated, while beta males just accept what others say.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we was talking about when I was saying, like, I don't want no one that's just gonna let me tell them what to do or just be like, okay, babe. Like if I'm getting on your nerves, you don't like what I say, then you better be like, listen here.
Look, hey, we're not doing this.
I can hear what you're saying, but I can't respect what you're saying because the tone that you're using just does not sit right with me. So I'm gonna need you to kind of get this together, and then maybe we can retry this again.
Right.
You know?
I get like, yeah, I'm not hearing you because of how you're coming at me.
Yeah, see, and I can respect that. See, I don't want you to avoid, like, you know, because this is what it says. It says, meanwhile, beta guy does not have the energy to argue with others. To avoid conflicts, he would just nod his head and agree with what others tell him. He's not confident enough to share his own opinion, fearing will be ignorant and that he keeps to himself unless asked.
So do you think that would fall under the category of like not texting back? Like when somebody has a conflict, like, okay, say you have a conflict with a guy, he doesn't text back. Do you think that's avoidance? Or do you think that that's just they don't care? Maybe it's just avoidance and they don't know, they don't like conflict, so they don't, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
And I think it could really be a kind of both, because you have this nonchalant
type guy
characteristic in guys, and I feel like alpha men can be nonchalant. You know
at times, yeah.
They just don't care.
Because it's not even that they don't care. It's just like, okay, I'm an alpha male. I'm above this.
I'm not about to do this right now. Like, I'm not about to do this.
I'm not about to do this with you.
Things like that. But like, that's avoiding conflict.
I feel like that if they say I'm not about to do this with you, I don't feel like that's avoiding conflict. I think that's setting a boundary and saying, look, what you're talking is nonsense. I'm not about to do this with you.
Right.
So I don't even think that that's avoidance. I think that I'm telling you or he's telling you, I'm not dealing with your attitude right now.
I'm not dealing with
when
this
you
right
calm
now.
down, or when you have a better attitude, we can circle back around and talk about it.
Mhm.
But as of right now, with you screaming and doing your head like this, I'm not hearing you.
But what? And then how many women can respect if a man said that to them?
We see and we don't. That's the problem. Because then we're like, you don't talk to me like that. You not my daddy. Look, I got a daddy. You not my daddy. You know, we get like that. But but if she's a real one, if she's an alpha female, she'll circle back around. She'll go and calm down. Do whatever she gotta do.
Probably needs to calm down my dang self.
And then she'll come back and be like, okay, can we talk about this? I don't like when you did this. And then he'll be like, well, I didn't know I did this. So then thank you for, it'll be a whole thing if it's healthy.
A
and they're both,
conversation,
But do you think that alpha female and alpha male can have a toxic relationship? Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, for sure. Because see, the thing about an alpha female is an alpha female, and I feel like the reason a lot of alpha females are single is because there's a level of control that has to be relinquished.
Yes. And if you're alpha for so long, you're not used to relinquishing that control.
You don't know how to get into that beta state of mindset.
Yeah.
You don't know how to get into that. You know what I'm saying? So you just constantly have conflict. You're just constantly arguing. Like it's always a fight with everything because you don't know how to, like I said, respect a man say, I'm not about to do this with you right now. You know what I'm saying? You tell me I'm not about to do this with you right now.
You don't got to do it with me at all.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to do it at all. We ain't got to do it at all. Trust me, believe that. Done. No, but I am the type of person. I understand that sometimes things take sometimes you need a moment to calm down.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's because I was raised by my dad, and my dad used to always tell me like his favorite line with me was always think before you talk, or think before you speak, think before you act. Like he always told me to take a moment and to just think. And so it kind of goes into when I've talked to you guys about when I talk to you guys about responding instead of reacting. Because see, I feel like a lot of times we react to things. And so we don't take we don't take the time to think about them, or we don't take the time to think about how we should respond in a cool, calm, collective way, or in a feminine way. Let me say that, because there's ways that you can respond, and you can respond real masculinely, you know. And it's like women, we got to understand that we talk about this soft life, we talk about these things or whatever, and masking in our feminine energy, but we really need to know how to dwell in our feminine energy and know what that means. Like when you respond, how you talk to your man. I would never forget, I seen that clip of Ayana Fix My Life. And she was like, it was like a wife and husband. She was like, okay, well, tell him what how you feel or whatever. And she started going in like, you don't be doing nothing around the house, and the boys don't do nothing, blah blah. And so Ayana was like, no, stop it. She interrupted her, and so then she was like, hold on, let me show you something. And so she went down and she sat next to the man, and she was like, your sons really look up to you, and what did she say? And what's the word? Basically, emulate what it is that you do. And
basically we're telling him to set the example.
Yeah, like you are an example for them. So we want them to do certain things, and you got to make sure that you're able to do those things as well, and not have me having to come in and tell you to do it and everything like that, because they're looking up to you, and they're going to repeat those patterns of what you see to do because you're their hero. And she was like, and he looked at her and he was like, I get that. And so she looked at the woman, she said, see, we said the same thing, but you said it in a way like you were attacking him. And I said it in a way as if I was supporting him. And as a woman, as a wife, that's what you're supposed to do. No matter whether it's correction or not.
Okay. So do you think a woman can bask in her feminine energy without a man?
Heck yeah, I'm always in mine. I am. Even being the strong alpha female that I am, I feel like, but I was raised by an alpha man. So you got to understand, like, I wasn't in I had a 2-parent household, but my father was the head of the household. Like, it wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, that was understood. So it's like, I've always had to bask in a feminine energy or whatever, because if I got too out of hand, he was gonna put me right back where I need to be, not physically or anything like that, because he ain't never with me, but just mindset wise, like he lets it be known. So he's a little old school and stuff now. Now I'll be like, Daddy, I don't know about that. That's a little too old school for me. But I still respect the fact that he still tries to tell me and, you know, keep me to what he feels like a real man wants in a wife these days or whatever. I guess into his head. But yeah, I do feel like you can dwell in your feminine energy, even being an alpha or even without a man. I don't think it takes the presence of both to be one. Because I don't think men are less masculine without a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we shouldn't be less feminine without a man. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be. It's just that we equivalent that to like an intimate relationship, or God, that's my boyfriend. Let me be sweet, or let me be not. Like that's just my nature, how I am to people. Period. You know, and so, and I think that once I think that that's the problem. I think that when you're not dwelling in your feminine energy, you're not gonna attract what it is. You're not going to attract that person that's going to allow you to live that soft life, quote unquote soft life. You're not going to allow a man that's going to let you bask in your feminine energy, because you're removing that masculine energy, and that's not what you attracted. You attracted someone that will, there might be on the down low, because
right,
attracted to your masculine energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he made that show could be on the down low. You know what I'm saying? So, but he liked that fight and he liked that comeback and stuff like that. Real men don't want that.
They don't want to go back. I want to go into this in the second hour too when we get off of this, because this is a good conversation. I almost slipped up there. Sorry. FCC,
and it's crazy because we only on number 3. I ain't even read number 3, and I'm really out of time. Mr. Walker, where are you at? I don't know. Okay, I need to close it down because I know it's another show that got to come on here at 7.
Mr. Walker, we lost you.
He probably somewhere in that system. There
he goes. Hey.
Huh? Oh, okay. What's up? Okay. Oh. Yeah, but I need to get off so he can start Tyrone's show. It's 6:57. Okay, can you go get him for me, please? Thank you. Me too. That voice, Professor Smooth Jazz.
I like that voice.
Girl.
Nice voice.
Okay, so let's see. Opinionated while males just accept what others say. The third one, which we're gonna have to go back and go into some more.
Look, we need some male opinions. We need
right?
some people put the mic up. Look, they not here, but we can put the mic up.
You silly. It says alpha male is often arrogant, but while beta male is more humble. So you might need somebody that's a both.
Yeah, you might need a little bit of both. Okay, there he goes.
You back. All right. So just real quick, the Holy Covenant Asiatic Nation, I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all make sure to tune in next Tuesday for the KUAW people next Tuesday, 6 p.m. same time. If you're on Texas 101 Jams, we're gonna take a small break, but then we're gonna come right back with the Truth Be Told after hours. So real quick, ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, the rest of what mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with our brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other.